Yo, yo, yo. Okay, let's start this off with Tobias's message first. This man said, nobody here. Let me farm some XP. Yum, yum, yum. You're actually funny. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, fake YouTube XP for watching a stream. Yum, yum, yum. That's so fucking good. Uh, Alright, I'm sharing the stream link around. If you guys could do the same, that would help. Stream link. Amazon busting a move up. What were we watching on Amazon again? Or are you in Amazon? Or we just like it because it's active in the morning? Alright, so just a reminder on Spy Guys. In case you didn't watch the video, which you can do that at any point. I'm trying to make them around 3 to 4 minutes every time. So far, so good. But yeah, check it out. It's right here. It's above the recent post this morning. Just kind of reminding everybody what to do. But yeah. And let me pull this up so I can have it on my other screen. Today's date's the 4th, right? Yeah. Let me make this smaller. Holy. Alright, there we go. Alright. So, basically here in the morning, guys. I mean, it's already slightly up. We're at 644.30s right now. I know I'm not showing pre-market, but we're right under this level. Above previous day high, which is important. So we're like somewhere in between here. But what's important is that we're holding this area. So you should already be like a little bit more bullish than bearish. The fact that we retook this in the course of 2 days. If you go into the chat, I've typed this multiple times. If you go into my streams, I've talked about this honestly a lot. I rant about it a lot. But we really did just experience another fear dip. As I explained many times, we have seen so many fear dips where it's just like any piece of news comes out, we're getting this dip. Any piece of news comes out, we're getting this dip. And there's a bunch of stuff that can cause that nowadays. Jeez, I'm losing my voice. Nowadays, the interest rate news, anything with inflation data that could cause interest rate news to change. I didn't even mention Trump is literally our president and could change any of that momentum at any time he wants. But yeah, so as long as we're above this, we are a lot more bullish than bearish. I just want to make sure we all remember that from the bigger time frames. But where are we opening up? We're opening up against a fib extension right now, which I didn't even draw the overnight gap point, but I would assume it's pretty close to that at 644.04. I was going to say the open of that green candle. So I think if I see that level break, I'll short-term flip the switch. But I think I want to... Actually, you know what? Let's do this. So we're going to go from open of that green candle, which is just how I normally draw supplies, down to the previous day close. And I think we'll do this. If we see a break of this area as a whole, we can kind of flip the switch downwards a little bit and be like, all right, well, shorts are looking good. But in the mindset of understanding that, holy crap, why can't I get this all in one picture? If it keeps falling, we probably will see something test here. And if we get to here, let's be in the mindset that, okay, this could bounce here until we see it break. And if we see it break, then we know, okay, wow, this is about to get real bloody. So, yeah. But yeah, another gap up. We have 2 in a row now, so kind of killing it. But good morning, everybody. Good morning, Tobias. Good morning, Sandollar. Good morning, Ayala. And yeah, good morning, guys. Be sure to drop a like on the stream and share the stream link around if you can. Oh, nice, Sand Dollar. You're in Amazon. Yeah, I gotta check my swing, actually. I'm glad you said that. Oh my god, let's go. Dude, get this out of my face. We're not up like a crazy amount. But we are technically in the right direction still. I guess I should remind everybody what to do on that. Small gains at open if you take it. Stop loss. PDC slash 2 day ago low, not a bad idea. In case we don't see the move today. Like, technically, yes, it's a profitable play, but I'm not going to sit here and be like, dude, we're fucking up. You know, just, nah, it's nothing to write home about. EXPE. I did not enter this, but I really want to. Also, the close of that changed crazy. Actually, we wouldn't even have been in this. I just realized that changed crazy. Yeah, this candle was actually red and was at 210.84. It was way the F down here, and then it pulled up. I gotta see the 5-minute on this now. It had a really big pull up. Yeah, what the hell? That's crazy. All right, let's check a couple more, and then we can get back to SPY. You can keep watching SPY here on the right side. I'm just trying to check some of the daily charts we've been looking at. Now that I'm starting to post these a bunch more now. And I am going to be updating like EXP, like this one, or not this one, but like EXPE, the other one. I'll be updating like even the ones that aren't really doing anything. Like if I said, oh, we didn't even enter this one, and then the next morning I'm like, oh, I'm kind of glad we didn't enter this one. Like I'm just reiterating, like, okay, good. Like it's still a potential setup here. By the way, SPY is flying 5-minute. MSTR. Oh wait, what did Coin do? Okay, she's still just sitting there. That's good. I'm not lying, man. I think one day that we're just gonna randomly check this chart again, and it's gonna be bumping its head against 335. It's just gonna happen. MSTR. Get back on task a little bit. MSTR. Still projecting under highlight area. Yeah, MSTR is one. We just have to check into Dave again. This is like a pending setup. That's what I would call that. Now, on day trade wise, you could be looking at this. I don't know what Bitcoin's doing today. I don't know if I'd start shorting Bitcoin related things. Oh, Bitcoin is rejecting today. Okay. Never mind. Maybe you could. So MSTR is crypto related, but what I liked about it is on the daily time frame, it's up against a pretty historical area, bounced, came up, was like, all right, just kidding, came back down, and now we're kind of at the point where it's like, are you gonna break this low or what? You know, so pretty big drop could happen from this. If not though, and as you see, it doesn't have as much basing or consolidation as like a Coinbase chart, so it just doesn't have as much of a chance holding as the other chart does. So I am looking at to short this. If anybody's looking at MSTR, but I only like it as long as it's under this. So if you're gonna short it with me, don't ignore what I just said. I don't like it if it gets above this level. This is a pretty important level to me. So I'll be looking for any kind of extra rejections under this to get in that. Let's delete that. Let's go back to SPY daily. I like to leave it up on that for a little bit. Maybe even check the 15-minute for a second. Oh, it's not even been 10 minutes. Alright, we'll go to the daily. I do like to see the bigger time frame side of things, just because it does kind of remind you of the bigger picture. It is a little easy to get lost on the smaller time frames when you're just staring at them. You're just gonna long the market so you're chilling. I mean, long it every time news comes out, and then there's like this effect where like everyone just feels the need to take profits. Which, I'll be honest with you guys, this was a pretty good seller signal. I don't know if I would have sat here and been like, oh, we're going to gap down this far to the next day. No, I mean, like, I would have probably said there's a good chance we're going down to the support of this, right? I don't think I would have said we're going to break that all in one swift move. News, of course, helped that, but this candle here is very telling. Again, you guys really, 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 really need to study your daily time frames more. I really do think it'll help your smaller time frame trading as well. But do the basic bullshit stuff. Like, this is kind of like baby level, but I'm going to be honest with you. This is very helpful. You got your low, right? I'm just going to mark them so we know what the hell I'm talking about while I'm going. But we got the low, we got the open, we got the high, got the close, right? Now, what's important is like just understanding what the hell I just said. Because going into the next candle, you need to instantly understand it again, right? But except this candle's red, and it had a weird open. Whoa, where's the open? Here's the open. Here's the close. Here's the low. Here's the high. And you'll start to see like some levels match up together. Some that we end up using are from just a candle that was the most important from context, right? So in that case, in that example, this would be that candle, right? We were down in the trenches. We look like we're going to keep fading away. Then we got an inside bar. Very awesome looking candle too. Got long legs on both sides, small body. What does the next day do? And remember, where did this day close? Here. It didn't close here. So it's not just, oh, it gapped up. No, it literally destroyed all of that day's info and opened up here. So it's not just a gap up. It's a very powerful gap up, which can give it that chance of doing days like this, which, again, I don't know if I'd ever sit here and be like, dude, thanks to that higher open, we're going to go to 646 today. Like, no, that's a little unrealistic, but still, the point pushes there. And then you can see again, right? So you can see that's momentum picking up. So what is this then? And you guys can type this if you want, but what is this then? We closed here and then went down to here to open. What is that? Is that momentum going up or down? Just based on the opens and closes, right? Ignore the fact that that was a red day. Ignore the fact that whatever else happened before or after this. Just focus on the open to the closes. A little bit of a reset. Exactly. Now, think about it logically. The next thing up, thinking of order of operations, you know, the PEMDAS bullshit I always go over with you guys. What is the next thing that candle or that day should do? The fact that it's lowered its momentum, it's going down. Where should that day go based on the context of its previous day? Where should it go? Where's like a logical area that it can go? And it is marked, funny enough. The CP, exactly. The halfway point of that big-ass green candle. And I'll ask you another one. What's another... let's say it goes down to this, and it breaks this, right? It breaks this whole area. What is logically the next area it should go to, based on this candle? If it was to keep just, falling off a cliff. It'd be around today's. It'd be the open. It'd be the open. Then you got the gap. Then you got this, and you could even do your gap fib. You know, I didn't even mention that, but like that's just another great short-term context thing you can do. All right, now let's look at it again. So this day closed here. With context, knowing that it didn't even touch the big ass green candle's halfway point, what did this day do? Closed above it, right? So what does the next day do? We get a little bit of a lower open, and what do? They fill the space. They do. They finally make it all the way down to the rest of this big ass candle's halfway point. So it kind of it did the rest of this day's job basically. Maybe they didn't have enough time. Maybe the momentum didn't bring in enough volume or liquidity to do it that day. Whatever the fucking reason may be, I don't know. I'm not Stephen Hawking. I have no idea. Right? So we get the lower open. They finish this day's job. Maybe they got off early, right? Their friend picked up part of their shift, got their early morning work done. And then what did they do? They retook the context that we are using to get back up, right? This previous day close. Because this is where they went. This is where they finished their job for the day. This is where their shift ended. This day, homie came in, finished his work. Now he's getting a back above that previous day close. So you could even have said, just from here, you're bullish. I don't know why I can't mark an X there. It's probably because OHLC makes drawing purple lines insanely hard. But basically from here, short term is where you actually should have been bullish from. Because you had context that we're still holding this. From this. Right? It always goes back to another day. Always goes back to another day. So, using about 3 to 4 days of context, that's how you could have given yourself a little bit of info on this. And it gets me finally to my point that I wanted to make. And I'm glad SPY isn't really going anywhere because this is a good conversation. But what did this day do to here? And pay attention to where it closed, because this is very important. But you get your higher push, right? You get your all-time high, whatever. And I'm not even trying to sit here and be like, this is what should have helped. You know, all-time highs are done short term. No. I'm just, for this day maybe, for maybe a day or two, understanding that it does take a little bit of work to hold something and work back up. It doesn't just happen overnight all the time, which I wish it did, because then you guys would probably make a lot more money. But the market wouldn't function right. There's got to be these moments where there is somebody wrong. And that's where that happens, is in between these moments. People don't always make that short-term transition of, oh, I'm still bearish. Oh, never mind. It held that level. I'm now bullish. Like, they don't have a trigger area to kind of change their bias, right? So you really, really got to focus on that. And using that context between your previous day's close and the previous day's info into that next day's open and how it did that, very important. You guys see me mention it all the time in here on the streams. And sometimes we're just on the smaller time frames and we're marking it from here to here. But it is very important how you're using your previous day's context, right? You guys could have the best levels in the world and it won't change your trading. You need to have good context and you need to understand how to take advantage of that context, right? It's like when you go to, and I always say this when I go over context with levels. It's like when you're watching a movie or a show, right? Think of your favorite movie, your favorite show, or favorite anything you've ever watched, right? Sometimes, I mean, a lot of the time, really, I mean, it's how that shit works. You are watching, you're paying attention. Maybe in the beginning, if I was to ask you, hey, how does this end? You probably wouldn't be able to tell me because you have no context. You have no idea what the fuck you're about to watch. But let's say I give you an hour and a half, hour into the movie or show to tell me a little bit of how you think it would end. You would probably have a lot better chances of doing that with that amount of time than you would in the previous scenario where you have no time, right? And it's because of context. You have it. You understand, oh, this is what's been going on. I understand this. I understand the protagonist, the antagonist, blah, 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 right? So it's just being able to understand your context and take advantage of it, right? What is the signal for, oh, this is still trying to hold something, or oh, what's the key area that this needs to hold, or, you know, whatever, just to give yourself that key info for short-term direction and actually be able to make consistent decisions from it, not, oh, I think it's going to go up, oh, I think it's going to go down. All right, rant over, but I'm glad we got to go over that because that was pretty important. Plus, I think SPY's about to get exciting. And yes, these are the same charts, so these are all the same levels. Okay, let's actually try to fix this chart now. Oh, that wasn't bad. Good morning, Dr. J. Sorry, I was doing a rant. I didn't get to tell you good morning in time. That was a good rant, though. And thank you, Linwood, for answering. Your answers were all, like, perfect. You were kind of hyping me up when I saw those answers come in, honestly. I was like, yes, he gets it. He understands the insanity. Because I get it at first, like, when I say this stuff, context and using all that like, it probably sounds a little weird, or like I'm, like, some weird, like I'm scamming you on, like, the info. But no, this is, like, genuinely, like, a free lesson. That's the most... That's the best way to take advantage of any strategy, not just mine. That just is my strategy, the context, right? If anybody applies that to any of their strategies, they would have such a good time. Because if you apply, let's say, inside bar strategy, outside bar strategy, and I'm only using those because these are price action strategies. Let's be honest, these are some of the best strategies in the goddamn world. Price action strategies are just so crisp because they're consistent. They have rules behind them. There's context. There's context on, oh, this is how you trade it. You know, it's not just wait till this indicator pops and tells you to do this. Like, if something's telling you to do something, that's a problem. You need to be using the chart's information, not letting it use you, because that is kind of what it's doing. You're always going to be a little late. You're always going to be following everyone else's late signals on the reactions. Let's be honest, indicators aren't the best. They are great for analyzing, quickly analyzing, but they are not great for, let me actively trade based on just this. If you're using it as a guideline, great. If you're just using that and relying solely on it, that is a problem. Yeah, I can't cut it yet, but I did add a stream marker. I've been getting smarter about that. Who would have thunk, right? All right, guys, we're against 644.93. If we reject this and break today's open, that's a pretty good short-term sign that we could go down to the area that we're looking to be bullish or bearish from, which, again, that is this area. Just to remind everybody. I keep having to pull the chart up because we keep bouncing. Ugh. Honestly, I didn't even see you say 160 fibs, so you did get 2 out of the 2 correct. On the third one, I think when I said the open, I'm pretty sure I said the other way to do it was the gap fib, so I'm pretty sure you're 3 out of 3. What even is that? Oh, okay, so it is that one. Because I've been mixing up this too, so sometimes I just forget which one's which. But yeah, so like this level here is the halfway point of the gap down, the big ass gap down. And then this level is the halfway point of this big green candle. And then I just highlighted it to put it together because it's like 60 cents. Well, I try to trade that, like just make it its own area and then use it as like a pivot point kind of thing. And yeah, good morning, everybody. Be sure to like the stream, share the stream link around if you haven't already. If you guys have any comments or questions or anything to throw out, feel free to. I also need to peep the Discord. Guys, y'all need to check Trading Floor right now. I'm not going to pull that up on screen because I'm not trying to bait anybody. But y'all got to check Trade Floor right the F now. This is why I bring up Frankie's name when he brings up a ticker or anything he's looking at. It's for shit like that. I'm not trying to bait anybody, but if I mention his name, go peep the chart he's talking about. But that is insane. Let's all be honest. That's a little insane. I mean, you can see the timestamps. Before open, up 2.78%. After open, up almost 250%. And he got out at 500%. That's actually fucking nuts. No, you're kind of the GOAT. Letterbuck, great update. He said 5-minute outside bar SPY. Oh, he is right. I didn't even pay attention. Actually, we went from an inside bar to an outside bar. On the 5-minute. which is wild. Whenever I see that, I just think, okay, there's a lot of indecision here. But in what direction, right? We are up, and it is kind of grinding up. But I'll be honest, these two candles are a little bit of a turn off. But I can't deny the direction we're in. But those two candles are a little bit of a mood killer. From 36 to 217 with the runners that were left before I closed. Nah, bro, you're actually insane. I'm glad y'all went in there and started spamming emojis on his post, because that is honestly crazy looking. And we all know Sand Dollar, like, bro makes posts like that all the time, but that is crazy. No, honestly, Sand Dollar, you deserve those gains. You deserve that times 10. Let me go look at Amazon. Oh. Dude, this is huge for you. Honestly. Like, fuck the gap up. The fact that you got the gap up, great, awesome. The fact that you got momentum up after that big of a gap up, I think that's honestly a dub. Dude, good shit. I can honestly see where the 500% came from now. You got to think extrinsically on contracts, like that gamma boost that just pours the F in, dude. This is one of those candles that, like, people are just buying to buy because they don't know what the F is going on. There's probably still people in this battling it right now. Smart Sand Dollar already got out. That's, I don't know, honestly, dude, round of applause to you. That is a sick momentum move as well. Because you know how it feels. Like, I know some of you do, like, when you get, like, you're holding a swing overnight, and then you get the gap up, and you're like, oh my god. You're like, I'm about to bank. And then it doesn't really go anywhere at the open. The momentum just dies right there. And so, yes, you're up, but you're not up to an extent where you actually thought you were going to be. You know, those euphoric thoughts just all just die, which you shouldn't really be relying on those anyway, but it is kind of nice sometimes. You're like, oh, wow, cool. Extra little boost. But then it dies at the open. That's that momentum. The momentum is everything. Now, that was sick. Round of applause to Sand Dollar. Good morning, gang. Good morning, Nardc. Good to see you, dude. And yeah, one more time, Linwood. Good shit, dude, honestly. Thank you for that. I forgot that I placed profit and stop loss yesterday at close, and it sold from 0.78 to 1.32. What? Wait, what are you trading? Did I miss what you were posting? Oh, you saw Walmart. What am I talking about, bro? Yes. No, you're doing great. This was a beautiful setup, honestly. It's very rare you see these. Like, where it's that perfect little curl. I won't lie. My favorite setup are those rounding bottoms. But the real good ones happen over the course of, like, 2 or 3 months sometimes. Sometimes even longer. But this was like a little baby version of it. It is like a perfect little curl. I think that's instantly why when you showed me this, I was like, dude, this thing's sexy. I didn't notice, too, that it hit this that same day. I was like, yeah, it could go up to here tomorrow. Bro, it started over this today. No, you did great on this play, dude. Let's see that early morning momentum, too. Did they screw you or not? Okay, they screwed you a little bit at the open. But it looks like you did a good job holding on because, you know, you're just now bringing it up again. So I'm assuming you did pretty effing good on this. Plus, you had that end of day boost, too. Just like that other chart did. Now, these candles are like Satan. You do not want this candle. You don't gotta be religious to hate this candle. All my people hate that candle. It's just a vibe killer. It's a momentum killer. Long legs on both sides, small body. And it was probably a very chaotic candle during its live trading, which are honestly the worst to be in. It'll have you thinking all kinds of things. Alright, I'm zooming in. Look at Costco, fam. I sold it opening. Yeah, I'm going to probably hold my longer term contracts a while longer. I bought like a few months out. I did it when I posted it in the. Was it in Lifetime or Premium? I don't even know where. I don't remember anymore. But I'm just like, I really like this. I don't understand why it's even down here. I understand the sector's down here, but it's Costco. So I like the positioning, and if it does continue to hold this, what could be another higher low. I mean, I guess it is already, but you just never know till after. But so far, looking good. But yeah, I like the longer term holds on the Costco. This is what UNH holders wish they could do, is what Costco's trying to do. Because don't get me wrong, UNH could do that too, but they're also in that scenario where it's like, do I even trust this? But they have that liquidity grab right here, so there's a lot of people who are trapped here, who are now caught in this consolidation, causing potential momentum up soon. And yeah, honestly, it's got that same little sexy curl to it, not even gonna lie. Now, I hate the ticker, though. That's the only difference. I can't stand this ticker. But that setup looks great. If you were to take the name off that screen and not tell me what it was, I'd still guess that that's UNH. But at first glance, you'd be like, oh, wow, that doesn't look horrible. But then you'd be like, oh, that's United Health. Fuck. Yeah, good job on Costco, too. We're doing pretty good on those, honestly. Some of my short-term plays to the downside that I'm like still waiting for, too, are still setting up. Like, we have EXP, which could invalidate. It could totally break out and we not even be in that at all. We've just been watching a chart for no reason. But I do still like to kind of watch things alongside things we're actively trying to trade, because it'll keep your mind occupied. Whereas if you're just focused on just the thing you're trading, you're going to go fucking insane. You're going to be like, oh my god, do I do this, do I do that? Oh my god, MSTR is doing exactly what I said it was going to do. It's kind of annoying. I can't really call this ticker out either, because this is kind of expensive. I found that problem too with the other ticker I was trading the other day. I was like, damn. I was like typing out the contract. I was like, wait a minute. No one's going to buy this. and no hate either. I'm not even criticizing. It's just like, I completely understand. Well, fuck, dude. We're just kind of like hitting every call out, right? We have another Maddie. Wait, am I tripping? We have 3 Maddies? How did D-Touch even see that? At 1:22 a.m. You punked out on cost? Oh, you're good, dude. You're actively trading other things. Fuck it. There's other setups. And there'll always be more setups. Swing trades cannot be like girlfriends, man. They can't. You cut them, you take profit from them, you break up with them, and then you just forget them. Just move on. I know I'm not getting onto you like that, but I just mean like there are like a billion fish in the sea when it comes to swing trades. A trillion. There's a trillion. I'd go as far as saying that. Okay, well, fuck, MSTR, I guess I don't have to watch you this morning. Guess I'll go watch something else. What ticker do you guys want on the left, or do you just want SPY Daily? I honestly don't mind. Whoa, AMD, what are you doing, dude? NVIDIA do that? Oh, I guess they did a little. Seeing a little bit of weakness in some of our big boys. Amazon slowing down too. Uh-oh, Meta. Dude, I told y'all Meta was going to go up. I knew it. I mean, I couldn't trade it because we were looking at 600 other things, but we talked about this like 5 times. This area was so important. I'm so glad I just randomly left it marked. I don't know why I did that either, because I never do that. All this time went by, we left it randomly marked, but it came back down and held this area. I was like, man, this would be the perfect time to go up for this chart because it's so ugly looking. Like, no one would touch it. So it has the liquidity just sitting there, or the people to trick there, you know? And it did. It just kept popping up. Now, getting above this level is going to be tricky. I could see why it already pulled back. But getting above this level is going to be tricky. I'm assuming that's the halfway point of this. So it's kind of stuck between 720 and 760s. I guess that's not a horrible range to watch. I might have to fix this chart, though, and remove these. And then we could just focus on, like, whatever the halfway point of that is. Probably, like, the high right there. And then some of these gaps we need to be taking advantage of. Like, there's a huge-ass gap there from here to here. There's a gap from here to here. I mean, there are so many gaps we could be... Like, actually, today's is probably using this. Yeah, it's the same level. Okay, maybe we don't have to delete that level. But that's a pretty interesting setup. And it could be taken advantage of, too. All this information we go over on the daily can be taken advantage of on your smaller time frames. It's just whatever time frame you want. You know, I always switch down to the 5 or the 10 or whatever, but I know we got people who go to the 15 to the 30 or like the hourly, like the 4 hour. Watch it on whatever you want. And some of them you don't have to trade because some of them are a little pricey. So some of them you're going to definitely want to just mental trade or get a mental rep on. You know, oh, I want to short JPM from this high. I'm going to, as long as it's under this. If it goes above this and I don't like it retaking this open, I'm getting the F out, right? And as long as it's under that or more seller signals pop up or good red candles pop up, yeah, I'm gonna probably keep holding that. You know, just talking to yourself like that, putting yourself in a scenario where you're making yourself go off of something. You're setting a parameter, you're setting a condition, you're setting a trigger. Not just blindly jumping in on something or being like, I think it's going to do this. I feel like that. Don't even say that shit. By the way, SPY is rejecting the 644.90s and under today's open. So, like we said, for direction, really need to pay attention to this area. Do we hold it or do we break it? If we break it, we're going to probably get a lot more of those red candles. A lot more bearish. A lot more sellers. If we end up holding this, I'd like to honestly see it like break and retake so we know that liquidity is there. Kind of similar to how this was working, where it broke and then retook once and then broke and retook a second time. And then we highlighted this low and this low. And it was just because of they are literally creating liquidity. That's that 90% we talk about. And they retook. And it actually did get a good move. And they did touch the first fib extension. But that was all they could muster up yesterday. And then they gave up. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. In case it happens again. Because again, you got to remind yourself we did start today on a gap up. So that wouldn't be the most shocking thing to see us break and retake this to any extent. Great analogy about the girlfriend on swings. Yeah. I just know that if you literally just treat each setup differently and you just not even think about the others, but actively checking other ones to kind of keep your mind occupied on not just one individual setup, you'll have a better time, I should say. I feel like you'll be more comfortable. You'll feel like you're a little bit more organized. You already do this. I'm speaking to everybody. But that was a good leeway into that. I wish I could make this chart not look so ugly. I just don't. Maybe it's these fib extension levels that are fucking with me. It just looks ugly. Remove trend line. All right, we are getting some short-term reactions to that highlighted area. Again, we are pretty much putting our chips on this is either going to hold this and give us a short-term bounce, and then maybe we get that lower high. We don't know that yet. That's in the future. Or a breakdown of this area. That could definitely lead to more sellers just stepping in instantly. And I talked about us holding and going up, but I didn't bring up the fact that if we go up and reject, that could also be an early sign for sellers to start stepping in again. So also keep that in the back of your mind in case you see that pop up and just start to struggle under today's open, for instance. That would not be a good sign. Right now it is bouncing a little bit. That's not a bad candle to see, just indecisive. Daily time frame's a little concerning to me, though, if you look in that left side chart. Just the positioning of it. I mean, we've gapped up 1-2 days in a row now. after a pretty large pullback. I would say small gap, but it really was, you know, like $7-8. That's kind of, it's kind of big, especially for just one overnight move. It took 2 gap ups to make 1 gap down. What's up, Nick? How you doing, man? Good morning. My bad. I'm all over the place this morning. IWM rejected pre-market hard. Oh, you're not lying. Not a bad look, too. It wasn't like on the first one. It actually gave itself that second chance, like I always like to go over, because if you're not looking for that second, you're kind of screwing yourself. Yeah, good mention. That's actually a good update. Didn't quite fill their gap, but they're pretty close. Not like it's a huge notable gap or anything, but actually, I guess you could say it did already fill it. The wick of the very first candle. I won't lie, I think spamming through the weights was also a little helpful there for a second. I might have just gotten really good timing on it, but going from NVIDIA to AMD to Microsoft to Apple all at the same time, those looking kind of you know, that definitely gave ourselves that boost. Even Amazon gave itself a little bit of a pullback from that 234. Pretty large candle. Okay, these charts are all screwed up because I'm on the 2. And it's got like 10 time on the left. Avgo, quick to go fill that previous day close. Tesla, uh-oh. They do have people trapped up here. That's probably why it pulled back so well. I wonder if that leads into any more downside today. Oh yeah, Eli Lilly, you did say that. I knew there was something I didn't check. I just wanted to see where that was. That's interesting. It does have that curl to it. It's like an aggressive uptrend, like it does when I just keep going up. SPY is failing under 643.98. We'll see if it makes it past previous day close, but it is trying to break into this little barrier that we're going to definitely be bullish or bearish from today. I think a lot more of your one-directional moves will come from here. Trying to make this chart not so hard to look at. It dropped to the 50, took a scalp trade to the gap, made it to pre-market for damn, Nick. Good shit. And good job being focused, man. Bro mentioned it, came back in here, was like, yo, I traded that. What a pro. Good shit, dude. I don't know what chart I'm trying to put on the left here. Yeah, round of applause, Nick. Honestly, that was nice. Good explanation, too. Look at the detail in that little bit of message you put there. It dropped to the 50. I took a scalp to the gap, made it to pre-market, 39%, like, on it. And he talked about the rejection beforehand, giving himself context on sellers somewhat being there short term. Didn't just jump into a chart that had a red candle on it. Wouldn't yesterday's candle show selling pressure as a one candle pattern on, what am I looking at, SPY? SPY Daily? My bad. I'm kind of all over the place. When I go back to read the chat, I'm like probably off by a little bit. Wouldn't yesterday's candle show selling pressure as a one candle pattern? Just confirm with me you did mean SPY Daily. I think that's what you meant. Because why else would you be talking about anything else? But it could have been one of the examples I was looking at, so I just wanted to make sure. Yeah, I'm done not trusting the chart. No, dude, good shit. I could see it in your messaging. I could really tell, like, when you did the kind of the beforehand context of, like, all right, well, it was struggling here or there. This is where it could go from there. You know, you're kind of giving yourself direction. No, that was nice. And a very nice expert. Like, I could draw your trade in my head. That's how that looked. I swear I say that about some of the best trades in chat. I'd be like, man, your explanation was so good. I could just close my eyes and picture exactly what you were saying without even seeing your chart, you know? Oh, that was nice. Pretty big reaction on SPY there between that area we talked about. I'm losing my voice. Can you guys be sure to drop a like on the stream if you guys are in here? I wanted to be awake and active for you guys on a Thursday. Which, honestly, you guys have been insanely supportive of the streams this week, even though didn't really have any, like, schedule posted. Which, when do I ever post a schedule? But I always appreciate it. SPY Daily? Okay, sorry, Linwood. I just didn't. I was going through so many charts, I wanted to make sure I was talking about the right one. Yesterday is actually kind of a buyer signal. Not just based on context. I could go over context again, but no, this would actually be a buyer candle standalone. Now, if it didn't have this bottom wick, or if the top wick was a lot longer, that definitely would have been an exhausting candle. Like a candle that I'm like, okay, this isn't really giving me any direction. It just looks tired. But no, that candle on its own is actually bullish. And the context it has is bullish too. Now, I don't know if I would have been like, all right, guys, let's swing from this. Because we just had this happen and then this happened. So I don't know if I would have been like, let's swing calls on that. You know, if anything, I'm looking for exhaustion signals right now. Can I get a candle that does that? You know, like this. Like this is kind of an exhausted candle. And you'll always see these at the tops and bottoms of trends. That's a really big thing. But they're like triggers. Like, I don't know if I'd jump in puts randomly on that, you know? I don't know if I'd jump in calls randomly on that. I would want to see something else pop up after, you know? But no, that one really isn't. If this is the day, you mean. But yeah, and that's a really big trick. I'm not joking. You will literally, like, here's one there, kind of one there, and one there. Like, you'll see them at the tops and bottoms of trends a lot of the time. This one, we really didn't get one. This was more of a surprise, like, oh shit, we just gapped down. We talked about that earlier, but no, I like those. I like those candles because they're triggers. It's really like, yo, check this chart tomorrow, see what it tells you. That's really what that candle says. And on smaller time frames, it's like, see what that next couple of candles tell you, right? If I see this candle and then I'm breaking this support under, I'm going to assume I do have a lot higher probability that we will keep going down. Also, these are like straight up candles at the end of the day. I don't know what the volume looks like on these, but I would assume if we break this, we do have the same vibe going to the downside. That it's probably just straight red candles, but maybe the momentum's different today. Also, we did go up and fill that gap. So in my eyes, bulls aren't completely gone from the chart, but it does give them permission to relax the F out for a second and give sellers a chance to bring this down so we can create liquidity to maybe go back up. That's exactly what this move was. That's exactly what this move was. And that's the 90% entry that we always talk about for anybody who's, you know, from those days and remembers that term over liquidity grabs or liquidity. It's not like we always use that term, but we've always defined that use of it, though. We've never ignored it, but it is very important to understand that. And that's why I think using that bigger time frame or looking at it more, you know, zooming out if you only have one screen, that's cool. Just checking it more to kind of update yourself on the bigger picture more. Did you guys get a God candle on Triple Q at 4 a.m. extended hours? Maybe it was a glitch. I don't know. Let me look. I don't know, good sir. But I'll look for you. See if you're going crazy or not. I don't see a God candle, no. Unless you mean one of these, but I don't know if I'd call this a God candle. Yep, SPY gap filled. I was just covering that. Oh, 1 month, 1 day. Triple Q filled it too. It was probably TD. Yeah, probably. You know, it's funny. I saw TD Ameritrade or Schwab with Thinkorswim on their thing. I saw their I saw an ad on a site that I didn't think I would see a charting ad on, and it kind of, I don't know, it just baffled me. A site that has nothing to do with charts. I was like, I don't know if this is the right target audience. I see a $28 range on Triple Q candle on TradingView. Damn. Maybe it did happen. How was everyone this morning, by the way? It is Thursday. On a weird week, too. That 4 a.m. Triple Q candle. Okay, yeah, so Alexis isn't completely crazy. You're still there. There's still somebody home. You know what someone in chat told me to do? They said I should start putting red dots on each side of the title of my live stream. So we're going to do that. I don't know why that he said that helps, but we're going to do it. I'm glad that I'm not crazy, LOL. I mean, you are a little bit, but yeah, you're not like straight jacket crazy. No, you're good. You're just as crazy as some of us in here. That high volume 644 level on SPY again. Yeah, man. It's a high impact area. I truly believe that is where direction is made. You know, we might have gapped up. We might have rejected 645, but I believe this highlighted area is truly where trend is made for today. When I say that to you guys, when I'm saying short-term direction for today, I really mean for today. This isn't for yesterday. I'm not doing afterthought bullshit. This isn't for tomorrow. I'm not even thinking about that yet. You know, it's not about that. It's about right here, right now, today. And it will help you also create bias for your short-term direction trades. If two crazy people agree on something, does that make it sane? No, that. Well, one, I would hope that there are actually two people and one of them aren't just like picturing the other one being there and they don't actually exist. That would be schizophrenia. Two, I guess it depends on the people. You know, you put Ace Ventura in a room with fucking, I don't know, a clown from a circus, and one of those things are going to die in that room. And it's not Ace. That clown's going down. So I don't know. Two crazy people agreeing on something could be bad. That might actually make it more insane. Triple Q just tested the 50% previous day candle and puts it right at PDCP. Wait, let me picture that again. Triple Q just tested the 50% previous day, all right, and puts it right at PDCP. Wait, is that the same thing typed twice, or am I tripping? Dude, I always know when it's Devontae typing. I didn't even read your name yet, and I knew that was you. Took 20% here, bought calls off yesterday's close on SPY. Dude, good shit. Round of applause for Devontae. No, I always knew it was you when you got in here because the way you type. I've never to this day seen someone type like you. And honestly, the way you type is beautiful. I wish every word was the first letter was capitalized all the time. Why can't English just be like that? Why can't it just look good? No, it really is iconic. Dead ass. If you don't, you could change your username, be on a backup account. I would still know it's you when you type like that. I, to this day, have never seen anybody do that. But I've never complained. It's always like just noticeable. It is really clean. But yeah, very iconic. If there's ever like a scenario where there's two Devontaes in front of me, and I'm like, yo, how do I, and I have the gun, how do I choose which one is which? I'm going to make you both text out a sentence or write out a sentence. Whoever doesn't do that is getting shot. That's all I'm saying. YouTube, this is just, hypotheticals. We're not actually shooting anybody. Dear God, their algorithm picks up we're talking about that. Which is crazy because there's genuinely like, I'm not going to get into it, but there's some R-rated shit all over YouTube that doesn't need to be on YouTube. But they get onto people for stuff like that. King, dude. Listening to other stock market streamers is brutal. Billy was goat of goat. Shut up. What's up, though, Keanu? How you doing, man? Your tweet to me yesterday kind of threw me off because you said the stream is better than Spaces, but I was like, aren't you hosting like a Spaces thing or whatever? I don't know what it's called on there, so I don't want to like say it and then be wrong, but don't you have a Spaces thing where you're like bringing people in that you fuck with or whatever? In case there's anybody that is on Twitter and here. But I do appreciate you for saying that. Thank you, dude. The goat of goats. You hear that, guys? I'm the goat of goats. After that bounce, and honestly, not a bad looking candle on the 5 minute. Previous two kind of ugly, but that hammer there, beautiful and beautifully placed. And it did literally what I told y'all. It did the whole break and retake situation, so it did provide liquidity to go back up. Very quickly. We're back above today's open, but we are not back above 644.93. So that is something to take note on in case we do struggle there again. If we struggle there again, one has to assume we're going back down to that highlighted area to test it again as support, or to see if it's still support. Not a bad reaction to see, though, by buyers. Sets them up really well. Gives them a proper chance at breaking 644.90s. And if not, then one has to assume buyers have tapped the F out today. UFC style. Whew. Yeah, I'm trying to put out a Spaces that's legit. All the ones out there are trash, trash, trash. I saw one of them that you were making fun of. One of them was like a subliminal, and then there's another tweet where Keanu's just straight up calling them out. It's like, okay, fuck. That shit was funny. I went to your feed for like 2 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is kind of content. This is cinema. No, you're good, you're good. Yeah, I have it at its lowest latency, but sometimes it still has that bullshit delay. Like, I can't control it. YouTube just has that delay. Even on ultra low latency. You guys can't even have captions because of this. But yeah, man, let me, I'll come by if I don't know, we'll see, we'll see. But, yeah. How many people do you have, like, talking at once? Because I'm going to be honest, to any average person, which I including myself, I include myself into the average person group. I can't stand listening to, like, 6 people at once. Oh, you accidentally clicked back. Okay, my bad. I'm just stupid. So there is still a delay, though, because of stupid YouTube. But it's only, like 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. If you change the latency second, even just one setting down, it goes up to like 15, 20 seconds. I do not understand it. And then on ultra low, why am I sacrificing captions? What if I have a deaf person that likes to watch my shit, but can't even be a part of the live streams because the captions aren't there? Like, YouTube genuinely doesn't care about the deaf. Bueller does. Bueller cares about the deaf. When market's moving, we are definitely talking over each other. Facts AF. But yeah, bro, I'm going to add you to the list of traders that might come by. Welcome to come by when market slows down. It's Wednesday, first 2 hours of market. That's it. Nothing. Oh, okay. So it is like a set day every week. That is cool. Okay, well, fair enough. Maybe that is why y'all talk over each other, because it's only like a 1 day a week thing. Okay, that makes sense. That's cool. No, that's cool. It's like a big meetup every time. Bueller cares about the deaf, do I, dude? I see that sacrifice on the captions, and I'm like, man, they are really just cutting off deaf people. And trust me, I've met a deaf person that watches YouTube, so I know that that's a thing. They do that a lot. There's a ton of deaf people who love watching YouTube. They're just like you and me. They just can't hear. But they can't even be a part of some of the streams because there's no captions because of the ultra low latency. YouTube makes how much money again? Gonna head out, B. See you later. Great stream. Thank you, dude. Thank you, Devontae. And thank you for being here, man. I was like seeing some of my OGs pop up. Devontae's been here for, I couldn't even tell you how long. Years. Proceeds to try and tell you how long. My elementary school was on the field of California School for the Deaf for 2 years while our school was being built. Oh, okay. So yeah, you know probably more than I do. Yeah, man. Just remember that. Just remember what I said about YouTube and the deaf. Foreshadowing. Yeah, I was going to say that, actually, Alexis. I was going to be like, dude, just wait for Sandollar to randomly bring it up one day. And then just enter when he says it. But I was going to try and say that without saying it, you know? So it doesn't make you, like, want to just follow him. But at this point, I mean, we'd be stupid not to. Immediately checks Oklo, yeah. Immediately types Sandollar's name into the Discord search bar and researches the last 50 tickers he typed. No, not. I've been saying that about Sandollar for a while. Username as well. Username and Sandollar are two people that, to this day, still post out things that they like whenever they feel like it. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not even trying to like hype them up or like make them sound like some fucking untouchable force, but a lot of the time it's a banger or it's a setup that makes sense, you know? At the very least, it's something that looks logical. So I always do appreciate those two specifically because they do a really good job of posting like the more macro side of things. Like I'll be honest, I study username posts to like get better. Like this man is built different when it comes to bigger time frame candles and just price action and how it should work. Not just with like how he draws things, but like how he talks about them. Like with Bull right now, he's been doing pretty good updates on it, and he's been literally showing for the past like few months where it's been trying to hold, and it's been beautiful to watch that story just develop over time. The price action. New high of day, by the way, on SPY. That liquidity grab scenario did happen. That's actually crazy. I always bring that scenario up first because it's the most exciting one to watch. I don't think anybody wanted to watch this go up, then reject, and consolidate, then reject, and consolidate. Which it still might do that. I'm not trying to take that out. I think it still could do that from here. But I know you guys don't want to watch that. But it is the more exciting price action to watch. I won't lie. Which isn't the point of trading, to be excited, but it is nice to spice things up a little bit. Oh my god, let her buck. Guys, did y'all see trade floor? I just go into chat, I see a bunch of fire emojis on this post, and I just read it. It says, calls are printing. Took 646 calls on the whole to PDC. Honestly, beautiful freaking work, dude. I was ranting a lot during a lot of that. Patiently waiting for the bounce off previous day close. 4 hour telling me we want more upside. 9 and 20 EMA compressed and bounced off the 9. This man is fucking genius. And he brought up the 15 outside bar. Which is funny because he's also the same person who brought up the 5-minute one earlier when we slowed down. He brought up this candle, then we slowed down. He brings up the 15-minute. We've been going up. Honestly, really nice work. Letterbuck is doing a really good job navigating direction on this. There's a few of you doing that today, too. Time for my morning walkabout. Oh, he's going to the cafe. Who remembers a good Sand Dollar Cafe picture? I know I do. Let's check our top fans leaderboard today. Alexis, you're in first, dude. Dr. J in second. I don't even see Tobias. Oh, he's in fourth. Wait, actually, there's like 100 of you tied for second. What am I looking at? There's got to be a trick to taking first every stream. There's got to be like a secret trick without trying hard. Someone's got to already have that figured out. Liking gives you points? I genuinely thought it was just like time in the chat. I thought that's it. Maybe I should read this thing. Okay, it says, a place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges in the live chat. It resets every stream, so you can always try again. What a bullshit. Oh, I hate that. It should literally be over the course of every stream. That would be a bigger flex. Imagine you're like, yeah, dude, I'm first. It's like, oh, whoop-de-doo, bro. Stream's been up for an hour. But imagine if you're like, yo, I'm in first. And that's over the course of like 3 months of streams. That would be a flex. Not, yo, I was in the stream longer than you over the past 60 minutes. Like, what? I just don't get it. How do you get on the leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP. Yes, we're all aware of what experience points. Here's how you get them. Send live chat messages and send super chats and No, liking the stream doesn't even give you points. Only typing and sending whatever the hell a super chat and whatever the hell a super sticker is. What is a super sticker? Is that the coffee stuff that Sand Dollar used to send me? You get nerfed when you number 1? Yeah, literally. Wait, so... Huh? But you all have the same XP. How do you... So that means all of you have typed the exact same messages. Their own rules don't even make sense. Alright, YouTube, you've pissed me off one too many times. Bulls are still holding, by the way, guys. We are above 644.93 after bouncing the highlighted area in which we are deciding direction on. And we have been pretty spot on directional moves. We had one go down to it, and we had one bounce off of it. We'll see if this one bouncing up right now continues or not. Not a bad look so far, though. 645.37. And look how close we are on that left side chart to the all-time high already. It felt like despair when we opened near 637s the other day, but now we're way the back up here again. So Bueller next UFC fight at the Sphere and oh, that's actually kind of crazy. Yeah, the Sphere is a kind of a crazy thing. I know all of us have seen it by now, but it's wild seeing the different ads that are all over it sometimes. Whoever thought of that is a genius and knows exactly what the future holds. No, you're good, Dr. J. I was just surprised that liking the stream doesn't even actually help you with these bullshit experience points. I think that pissed me off more not reading it. That's crazy to me. I just don't get that because if you think about what they're like, I'm not even complaining anymore. But if you think about what that reinforces, it reinforces engagement in the chat, right? Which okay, cool. Maybe even reinforces people donating to whatever the hell a super sticker is. Again, still confused by why they even have that. But it just blows my mind that they have that when that's all that reinforces. Like, wouldn't you want to reinforce, like, I don't know, the stream growing or whatever? You know, anything like that. But no, they go straight to the let's make them more money and let's get them more engagement in their chat, which again kind of pisses me off because the more people you have typing in your chat on YouTube doesn't actually do anything to the algorithm. I could have 1,000 people typing in here. That doesn't mean 10,000 other people are going to see it. That's not how that works. Liking the stream would do that, not commenting in the stream. Like it's weird that they're reinforcing the things that don't grow the thing that they're in. You know, it's weird. Wouldn't you want to see it grow? That just doesn't. I just don't get it. YouTube features are really weird. I genuinely think if they just said what I said the other week with the two other ideas taking away from Twitch, they would be fucking geniuses. YouTube would fucking explode even more. They lost a lot of the streaming market to these other streaming platforms now. Which they're still kind of, you know, way up there at YouTube. They're not falling off at it to any extent, but you know what I mean. They're allowing competition to thrive in other platforms. It's almost like they're like, yo, we won't monopolize with just Google Chrome, but can you guys please let us have some of YouTube's streaming dominance, you know? IWM attempting pre-market again. Good update. Nick Filla is all over the IWM chart. You know what? Just for you, let's have it up on that left side. Because you've been doing a good job updating it. Pretty sure. I don't know if these are even all emerging candles anymore. Every other time I go to IWM, I'm like drawing on it. SPY still sitting at high of day. No change there. And yeah, I won't lie. I was going to try to day trade things, but me trying to switch through all the different things we're looking at for daily time frames and swing trading, I honestly got caught off guard. So I hope you guys took advantage of some of those updates, but I was honestly clustered. Not even going to try to cap. You did miss the bounce off the previous day close. Yeah, that's pretty clean. Though I don't blame you. That candle with the long wick on top down there, it's a little frustrating to see that. But I won't lie. Just remember the candles I said that are at the top and bottom of each trend. There's one right there at the bottom of trend again, which I can't even draw around it. There we go. It's that one. So, kind of funny that it's there. And look, there's another one actually right there. So maybe that shouldn't have been that scary. You're jumping on light calls for triple cube of 572.40. Dude, good luck, man. It does look like momentum is on your side, though. IWM is picking up. I like this inside bar breakup that Nick Filla is looking at. I'm on the 15. SPY's not doing bad at all. It's literally doing its job. And it looks like some of our tech stocks have recovered. You can see Microsoft flipped green, Nvidia flipped green, Apple's a lot closer to neutral. AMD I can't really mention, but it's not like it's a large weight. Amazon's kicking ass, Meta's kicking ass. Looks like Avgo did hold on to that level that we were looking at. Tesla is green. That's good. I mean, not by a lot, but it's green. 40 cents. Bro, is Netflix up again? Hold up. I got to change the chart one more time. Oh, my God. 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 All right, get me off this chart. I might cry a little. Bro, there's nobody in chat who's been spouting or yelling Netflix going up as much as me. It is so expensive too. You know what? We gotta look at the bright side. The price action worked exactly how we expected it. Take that, use it on other charts. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. Avgo earnings today. Oh, they do have earnings today. Okay. I saw the symbol, but I didn't know if it was soon. But yeah, that is interesting. I wonder if that'll have any big move that follows like Apple or Amazon. That would be cool because then that means more upside. Netflix is the powerhouse, dude. I think I'm just sad because the price action was so clean. I literally sat here and was like, dude, this is gonna go up. And then I just went and charted 50 other things. I forgot about her. The most beautiful setup, and I forgot about her. Wipes fake tears. What's up with that with everyone in stream? You guys doing good? How's everyone's morning so far? How was your Thursday? We're getting closer to 10, so we're getting closer to that hour and a half mark. Honestly, not the worst movement this morning. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. And honestly, it was fun switching between all the different tickers we were looking at on this chart because there was actually some really good movement across some of them. So it really wasn't that boring. Which isn't the goal, again, just to reiterate that. That's not the goal. I don't give a fuck if you're entertained. But it is nice to be a little entertained so we don't lose our minds. We are human at the end of the day. Believe it or not. If IWM can break over 236.67, I have yesterday's high at 235.26. Okay. I like these plans when y'all post them like that. It's something to go off of. And something you can update off of, too. You know what? I'm done looking at previous day. Let's just do this. 236.67. Am I reading that right? Oh, if we break over. $235.26. Dude, I hate when it does that. Dude, that's where it did its liquidity grab. Was that the previous day 50%? That's fucking clean. That's exactly what SPY did, but at previous day close. That's actually super clean. Also, it's got to be pretty rare that the halfway point and the previous day close are that close. That's a weird thing to say out loud. It felt weird when I looked at that. Because I feel like your close is more times than not near the high or low of day. Maybe I'm tripping. It just feels that way. I don't have any like real hard raw data on that. That's just what it feels like. But when I first looked at that, I was like, wait a minute. Is that right? That's not a bad looking chart. No, I'm back. I'm back. Sorry. I just stepped away and I didn't even have time to tell you. I'll be right back. I'm sorry. I am here, though. And there is sound again. There just wasn't when I muted my mic. My bad. Discretionary is leading the way today, Phil. Yeah, I figured it was when I saw Amazon doing well and Tesla wasn't falling through the floor. But I didn't even check the sectors. We'll see if Homeboy's correct. He is correct. If I wasn't listening to just straight up copyrighted music the whole time, we could totally listen to music together. What's up, though, guys? How is everyone in stream? Who do I still got in here? I need a vibe check. We're approaching around 10, so I'm doing my annual vibe check, my daily vibe check. I kind of like the red dots in the title of the stream. It actually look kind of nice. Shout out to the person who told me to do that. How was work for everybody or wherever you guys are at today? Maybe some of you are traveling. Maybe some of you are at work. Some of you at home, messing with the kids. It's funny, I went AFK and we didn't make another high of day. Maybe they were waiting for me to come back. Slow day at work. Feels like a slow Thursday just in general. Like, I don't know why, but maybe because I've been talking so much, but it just feels like hours have gone by, but it's only 10. In the city of Boston today. Nice. A lot of customers out there, or some big spenders. And yeah, be safe out there too, man. I know you drive around a lot. Whenever I tell people that, I don't mean like, yo, you suck at driving, be careful. No, I mean like, other people suck at driving. Be aware of those people. Be aware of those said idiots. Swear, dude, water hits the ground, everybody starts driving different. The bulk of your customers here? Oh, damn. Man, so you really travel around like all that, basically the whole state, or just around that larger area of the state? Facts, you have to look out for other people. Exactly. It's not really your driving that we're worried about. It's like all these people on their phones these days, man. It really, like, back in the day when we used to make fun of people, like, oh, dude, when aliens invade, we're all going to be on our phones or whatever. Or if we were alive when the dinosaurs were, we would have always been on our phones or something like that. Like, that's a reality nowadays. It's not even just a joke. Before it was like, ha ha ha. Now it's like, wait, hold up. This can't be good. Yesterday you were in Connecticut. We cover all New England. Damn. Okay. You know, it's always weird for someone like me to picture that. Because, like, I'm from Texas. Like, I'm over here thinking, like, you're probably driving, like in my head, I'm like, dude, he's traveling hundreds and hundreds of miles to each of these customers. But it's probably not like that. It was a little weird too. I think I told you this before. Like traveling from Texas to like Florida is wild because you're always either in Texas or Florida. But as soon as you go from state to state, you cross over like 3, 4 states in like no time. It's weird. They add up for sure. Yeah. In my head though, I was thinking like a lot bigger distance because of like I don't know. I can't picture it right. Now I've been in Texas so long, like traveling through other states feels like a breeze. But then you travel through Texas and it's like, bruh, you could drive through my state for half a day, still be in the same state. So it does always kind of make me freak out when you guys are like, yeah, I just drove across this state, and got to this one. Like, what? Because I hear that, I'm like, whoa, dude, you've been traveling for days. But I'm just stupid. Texas is a whole dude, it really is. It's huge. 20% of drivers, wait, 20% of drivers cause 80% of accidents. 12 hours from your house to El Paso? Yeah, dude. Half a day and your ass is still in this state. And you're not even traveling like through the longest part of it either. You're just going to the edge. Imagine if you went from like one tip to the other tip. Ugh. That would be hell. I remember we'd do like plumbing jobs out in the country for like people's like hunting stand or like not hunting stands, but like hunting like I don't even know what they were. Like cabins, I guess. We'd go out to some of them and some of them were huge. And every time we traveled to one of these places, it took like 4, 5, 6 hours. It was never like a 1 hour thing, 2 hour. It was always like double or triple that. We'd always stop at Buc-ee's and then travel for fucking 5, 6 hours. And still be nowhere near a border. Like, that's going to just another part in the country. Like, it's not even... It blows my mind every time. Dude, think about people before cars. How the fuck did we travel from one side of the country to the other? Like, genuinely explain that. Oregon Trail vibes. Oregon. I drive approximately between 80 to 200 miles back and forth. Depends on the routes. Oh, God. Okay, so it was pretty close to what I was thinking, though. Hunting lease / rent. Yeah, kind of, yeah. I guess that's a better way of putting it. Yeah. Like a big, big one, though. This one guy that did it, too, he had, I don't know how this guy had all this money, but he had a lot of money. He said his family owned, like, all this land forever. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. But they had a fish farm. They had helicopter rental rides where you could, like, pay him $10,000. You go up in a helicopter and you shoot at hogs while it's flying, which honestly sounds super fucking fun. But yeah, it was like one of those kind of places. I was like, holy shit. Which, to be fair, it made sense they had a lot of money because what they had us putting up was wild. I had never helped with anything like this before. It was like the nicest plumbing we'd ever installed, and it was for like this in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, like hunting leases. Crazy. We brought mad shit there, and then did it all, and it was just ugh. You drove, yeah. See, that's a Texas thing. Exactly. You drove 65 miles to work. Legend. I still gotta go back home too. At least you're not that NASA crazy chick who drove 900 with a diaper to confront it. Oh yeah, that was wild. Ted Nugent has a video on helicopter hunting hogs. Like a good one or a bad one? Like he likes it or doesn't like it? Let me look this up. Yeah, I won't lie, I didn't get to go up in it, but it looked really fun. Oh, this guy, man, he probably does this for fucking fun. Why are they down in my band like that? They said American singer, guitarist, songwriter, and political activist. Why are they down in him like that? Is he that much of an activist? That it needs to be mentioned in the first sentence of his overview on Google? Why are they down in a rock star like that? I think he has hunted 500 pigs and donated the meat. Oh, that's super dope. That's what this place does too. I mean, you can keep the ones you shoot and eat them and stuff. And there's even a place down the road to go get them all done and stuff. But whenever he does it, he does that too. He like donates it all, which is super cool. I mean, hog meat's pretty fucking good. I won't lie. He says some wild stuff. Oh, okay, fair enough. Is he red or blue? I feel like I should be able to guess that, but in today's world, I actually have no idea. Red and blue, it used to be so different, even when I was younger. Recently viewed, bro. My recently viewed is crazy. R.A. the Rugged Man, Raekwon. Now we added Ted Nugent to it. Oh, that's funny. Uncle Ted is an avid hunter and Trump supporter. Okay, fair enough. That's what I would have guessed based on the type of music that he's done. But you never know these days. Not like it matters, but I just had to know, why did it say political activist right there? Maybe I just don't know about his wild takes. Let's see. Wild Ted takes. Because he hunts? That's why? That's what all of this says. It's because he hunts. How is that political? Views hunting as a vital part of the spirit of the wild. The ability to escape societal stress. Yeah, I mean, isn't that what hunting is? He sees it as an essential human activity and often expresses a profile. Is that... How does that make you a political activist, though? He likes to hunt. What is the problem with that? Are you going to sit there and tell me Democrats don't like to hunt either? I'm sure there's some Democrats that hunt. Hunting is just a vibe. You go and chill, hang out with the boys. He's very pro 2A. Oh, I didn't read that part. I don't know. I don't really understand the hate with all that stuff. There were problems with schools before all this shit, and there's problems with schools even after this shit. So they just need to get stricter with certain gun laws, not taking guns away, in my opinion. Like, they really need, like, there should be no way some of these people are getting some of these things. But it happens. I'd also like to point out that there's other parts of the world that we aren't being, like, well documented on, but the UK has stabbings at all-time highs right now. So it's not like other parts of the world that have completely different laws than us are doing well either. So I really hate the whole gun argument because it's already been proven. It's not really a stance anymore. Guns are in America. They're going to probably be in America for a very long time. There's nothing you can do about that. But what we can do is make safer things around different restrictions of the laws that we have. But taking them away isn't going to do shit. It's already been proven in other countries that literally have all-time high stabbings. Exactly. It doesn't matter what laws you change. The criminals are criminals. They're going to break the law. That's what a criminal is. Which should speak more to not our laws, but should speak more to our society. And what could be affecting that? What could be creating criminals popping up left and right? What could create all these, you know, I don't want to say the word, but the blank shooters, you know? Like, it's just crazy to me. You gotta start from the ground up to fix it. Don't go straight to the... I don't know. That's my stance on it. I'm not even like... You guys know me. I'm not political. I really don't. I don't even vote. I don't like our system. Our system doesn't make any sense. But that doesn't make the most sense to me. When people see, like, shootings and they're like, take guns away. It's like, what? That wasn't what caused it. Why don't we have why do we have security guards at banks and government buildings, but we don't have them in schools? Are children not the future of any country, of any society, of any population of people? So should you not also be protecting that future? I don't know. Just bold take from a random streamer. Yeah, we need more love. Yeah, exactly what he said. We need love, not gun. We need not less guns. We need more love. It really feels that way. Like if we're just having criminals pop up left and right, and when people can go steal things from stores without getting in trouble and they do it on demand, no problem. Like that speaks more to society than it does anything, not to our laws. Yeah, there are some laws that could be tweaked, but I'm not arguing that. Too much logic in this convo, my gosh. No, you're right. We should just stop. What the fuck are we even doing? We're wasting oxygen at this point. Good morning, Carter. Good to see you, dude. Always good to see your name pop up. I'm sorry that that's when you jump into stream. We just got bored and yeah. I don't know. I have a lot of friends that are in the UK and they always tell me about that shit. And I'm like, see, like it's not really gun laws. Criminals are going to be criminals. It's you got to fix other things in society first. I don't know what. I'm not fucking smart. I'm just saying. Attacking the same problem and it's not getting fixed isn't really doing anything. It's like a kid going into a corner and throwing a tantrum. That's all we're really doing right now. Rural Texas has 1,000 guns per person and less violence than most of the world. Is that true? That's actually nuts. I believe it. Because no bullshit. Every house you go to over here, and they're just like, everybody's got like 3 or 4. And they're always willing to show you. Like I told you guys, like any person in Texas, dude, if there's like an abandoned car in a parking lot somewhere that you could totally go shoot at without getting in trouble, it will get done. That will be the favorite pastime of that neighborhood until more houses get built. Exactly. Political talks about gun violence, but the issue is violence. No, I agree. I genuinely believe the problem is a lot bigger than they're attacking. Exactly. Now, y'all are speaking bars, dude. And this isn't even coming from like a fuck Democrats, fuck Republican. Like it's not even coming like from that point of view. Like let's attack the blue or let's attack the red. Like I really don't agree with that either. I don't agree with attacking the other side of the aisle. And that seems to be like a common, like if you're not doing that, you're not doing your job is how common that is now. And I just can't agree with that, man. I can't agree with people tearing each other up over these things. Because these are very, very vital conversations that people are having and they're just throwing labels at each other. You're racist, you're this, you're that. Like, bro, you don't even know that person. Y'all are talking about gun violence. Why are we bringing up racism? Why are we bringing up any of that shit? It's irrelevant. Like, that's the part of politics I really can't get behind either. But it's funny, too, because, like, any politician who's doing their job in today's world is trashing other people, like, common, like, every day, every week. I just can't get behind that, dude. I understand disagreeing with someone. That's fucking totally fine. You're allowed to do that. That's literally freedom of speech. Please disagree more as much as you need to. But don't just do it to trash each other. Like, because now the spectrum's gotten so weird. It's like, I don't even know what each side supports sometimes anymore. Like, sometimes it feels like it's already vastly known that the red is really good with foreign policy and that blue sucks at foreign policy. But it's also the other way around when you're inside of our own country. Republicans aren't always the best at being outspoken about their policies, even though they have decent policies, or need to create a policy because they're just too lazy to make one. And then you have Democrats. They'll make a policy right then and there. Yes, it'll fuck us all over, but they have it done and they're outspoken. So there's a really big difference between red and blue a lot of the time, even with Trump in office. So it's just, I don't know. It's a touchy subject. And I don't disagree with anybody in here. If you're Democrat or Republican, more power to you. I'm glad you could find belief in something. I just can't believe in that shit, man. It just isn't enough. I don't see our country moving forward in that kind of pace We can keep creating wars and keep creating peace and all this stuff every 4 to 8 years, but that's just, I don't know. I just see it as pointless. A new president every 4 years, 4 to 8 years, depending on if the guy wins twice. Ugh. Yeah, exactly. Politics, if you disagree with me, you are worse than... I'm not even going to say that guy's name, but yeah. That's really how it feels a lot of the time. And not even just with politicians, too. I think maybe some of you heard me say that and you think I'm just talking about... Like, I think people, too. Like, I think some people even in here have done this. Like, I'm sure I've done that at one point. Where people have just, like, completely just roasted somebody or just gone after somebody. And it was just related to some bullshit political topic. Just because you're on different sides of the aisle. Like, that is a problem. We can't even have a conversation. That's an issue. And that's what our politicians do. Like, you and me do that because we're just, civilians, we're whatever, having fun, roasting each other, having a fun laugh. But at the end of the day, like, that's what the people in charge are doing. And that's a big problem. I don't know if I want people who are throwing tantrums at each other every day in charge of my gun laws. That's all I got to say to that. I don't want those idiots in charge of it. And I'm sure most people don't either. But yeah, enough of that political rant crap. That's just crazy to me. And I do just want everybody in here to know, like, you're welcome in here. It does not matter what you believe in. I don't care if you believe in one God. I don't care if you believe in 26 gods. I do not care. You are welcome in here. But keep it cool. Don't be weird. Vibe. You got something to say it, but don't be weird. Don't be mean. We can criticize each other all we want, but let's at least be able to talk to each other. Jesus. I think we can all agree on that. That's a good way to put it. What I have learned, right wing, left wing, it's on the same bird, so we will go the same direction. It really feels that way. But that's my take on it. Like, you really got to just... If you can't even have a place to talk to each other, that's a problem. That's what this country was built on. Being able to speak to each other freely. Being able to do what you want freely. With a set of laws, of course. There's the law of the land, but... Not complete chaos. Dude, I'm being given some horrible songs on YouTube right now. Anybody got a dope YouTube playlist? Does anybody in here do that? I need one. I'll take anything at this point. Okay, as soon as I said I wasn't giving good songs, this one was alright. Oh, never mind. $10.16. See what Discord's doing. Food for thought. Love the post, Kevo. Oh my god. Did y'all see Trade Floor? No, y'all need to go to Trade Floor right now and see what Letterbuck just posted. No, that's actually insane. Bro, I just brought up username's name and he posted. Ooh, it is kind of squeezing. I like that look. Ion Q. The weekly is so nice. Ooh, we took rising volume above the breakout there. Into the high. I don't know if Letterbuck is in stream or not, but that is I'm so proud of you if you are. Regardless if he is or not, I'm just proud. To the WWE, the stuff is already choreographed. They know the outcome, and yeah, no, it really is. To some extent, or to a big extent, it really is. It's funny you say WWE. I just watched this like shorts on YouTube. I saw this one pop up. It was like an edit of like the WWE, and it was these guy. It was I can't remember his name. It was the guy that wore like the Irish skirt or whatever, the Scottish skirt. I can't remember his name, but that guy was a badass. And he was like, they were like interviewing him, and they were like, "Yeah, man, what is it like bashing all these like chairs on each other's heads and this and that? Like, how is it being a fake wrestler?" And he's like, "Fake." He's like, "I've got injuries all over me." And he starts like undressing. He's got like fucking bruises all over him, and then it cuts over, and it's just all these like sick clips of him like jumping off the top or getting hit by a big ladder or something. It was just kind of funny. Oh, you are here, Letterbuck. I just wanted you to hear that I was happy, dude. That I was proud of you. Because genuinely, I always see you drop like super, super nice updates. You talked about the 5-minute outside bar right here. And then during this, you're bringing up the 15 OB. And you honestly kicked fucking complete ass on that trade as well. You actually executed on it too. Huge gain. And props to you for putting Phil in like Sand Dollar too, because that's true. As soon as I saw it, I thought it was Sand Dollar. And then I was like, oh, this is Letterbuck posting. That was super sick, though, man. I'm just proud of you. I like seeing people kick ass on their own in chat because it's, like, nice. I would genuinely say, like, of, like, the 20 to 40 people who are probably, like, somewhat active in chat, because I'm not going to sit here and bullshit. We don't got, like, 100 active people in chat. There's probably about 30 to 40 tops at our peak right here, right now. And of those, like, 30 to 40 people, I would definitely say about, like, 75% of them know what they're doing. To a big extent to where they could do a lot of things on their own. Maybe they like being in stream. Maybe they like seeing other people's updates, too, to kind of help them out. And there's nothing wrong with that. But for the most part, they're doing a lot of the thinking and trading on their own. And I'm very, very proud to be able to say that. And it's cool, too, because every time you go in there, you see a different experience, like with Frankie, or you go in there and you see, I almost said Sanddollar twice, Letterbuck. You know, you go in there, you see Carter, React, Kevo, Username. Like, there's just so many different people you could take away from, and they're all using a lot of the same little tricks that they like, right? Maybe they found something within the system that they just love taking advantage of, you know, whatever it is. Or maybe there's a ticker that they're just on fire on, and you just can't stop them. It's nice to see that. And the updates too. You don't go in there and you don't see people typing, "Guys, I got in at 0.35. Who's in with me? Let's all take like, there's not people writing each other's cases like that. It's not like that. It really is like, yo, guys, there's a 5-minute inside bar here. I'm gonna see if we hold CDO. I'm gonna go towards this. If it breaks this, it invalidates. Like, you see people setting conditions for each other. That's helpful. That's the bread and butter. The meat and potatoes. My 40% gain feels like dog water. It'd be like that sometimes. I mean, I didn't even catch a day trade today. I just did all the swings I was doing. So, I mean, you could use me as a parameter too. I didn't even do that much. To be fair, I did trade the last 2 days, so I wasn't trying to go heavy, and I had swing trades open. And I've been trying my best to not do too much at once, because I feel like I get clustered. Oh my god, I'm glad I wasn't checking this. This, I wish I would have gotten in, but we covered it. We did our homework on it. That's all I could really do. Can't sit here and talk about the woulda, coulda bullshit and waste time. But damn, did that cut deep. Is Intel still going up? Yeah, they are. I posted this yesterday because I know I have some people in chat who like Intel a lot. So I made sure to post something on it. But that area is definitely important. It's just the supply of that high. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Yeah, exactly. It's just pointless to have that conversation with myself. We could do some after review stuff too, but it's just like, no point. 645.91 is an old fib extension. 645.91. Oh, kind of around here. What is that a fib extension from? Oh, I'm blind, bro. We did hit both fib extensions. Well, that's cool. If you guys remember from, was it here? Yeah, from this gap up, which is pretty significant. We only hit this one yesterday, but today we just hit both of them. And what do these look like? Oh, whoops. Oh, it's already through all of those. Which, to be fair, that is why I left these levels up. But I didn't even notice because we had been using this chart for other uses today. But, dude, nice. It actually did hit both levels. I guess I should do that on a different chart. Just to, like, only highlight that info so people know what the hell I meant. Intel, let volume tell the story. A move in either direction looks to be incoming. Yo, this man is on fucking fire. That's wow, that just brought up his name today, now he's posting again. Like, whoa. Bro sensed a disturbance in the force. Let's review some of these fat gains today. Let her buck, dude. Massive amounts of aura farmed today by Letterbuck. Kevo doing a good job dropping these subtle updates for us. Letterbuck as well. This motherfucker. We'll get to those gains in a second. Yeah, here they are. I like this post because it's like before open, after open. And it's kind of cool too because you could see like from here to here how much more he got out of it from the open. I feel like it's easy to forget that. He didn't just open and have 500%. He did have to hold a little bit after the open and get that early momentum on that candle, which is honestly a challenge. Respect him for holding that. But yeah, crazy move by him. Pretty big gains by a couple of you today. And Linwood had a lot of really good posts in the results interview yesterday. Even Sherman posted yesterday, which was honestly cool to see his name. He's like the one person we've met who genuinely looks like a reincarnation of Jesus Christ. Grass-fed posted too. Those were sick gains. Those were huge. There's my scalp. Linwood again. Dividend there. Yeah, I think I've seen them all. Yeah, chat's fucking making bread. Don't say it too loud. We don't want a bunch of guppies in here. $100 XP and not top 3 week, and we back. I cracked the algo. Mr. 1, baby. Damn, chat made money today. Dude, I don't understand Tobias. Because typing doesn't do anything. How did Tobias just overtake you guys? One day Tobias is going to gift like 100 subs and he'll be first. Or whatever the F a super sticker. I still need to Google this. What is a super sticker? A paid animated image that previews... Oh, so it is the coffee thing that Sandeller used to do. To show support and stand out in the chat. By sending a super sticker, fans can get their attention and show enthusiasm. What the hell is a super sticker, though? I gotta see what they look like. Ugh. What even are these things? Bro, don't y'all dare donate a super sticker to me and post one of these in here. Don't y'all dare. Don't you dare. Don't you dare do that in my chat. If I see this thing come up, I'm ending stream. I'm not even thanking you for the donation. Like, we're ending it right there. No, no, no. Okay, that one needs to be tested. I guess that one's alright. The rest of these just look really sus. I'm sorry, what normal human being is sending these in a chat? I don't mean to roast somebody who might have done it in the past, but like, what are these? Ugh. It's bias for Tobias. Oh my god, that would have been a sick channel name. I put two bias, but bias for Tobias? Tobias is bias? Or no, wait. Just do toe and then bias in all caps. Tobias. I have a theory that if Bueller reads your comment, you get experience. I have a theory that if Bueller reads your comment, you get experience. I have a theory that if Bueller reads your comment, you get experience. There you go. I gave you 3 of them. I think I fucked up one of them. When I don't hear the little voice in my... Wait. When I hear don't, the little voice in my head says do it. The Sith from fucking Star Wars. Do it. It worked or not. I don't know how Tobias just took first from y'all after not even being here. And typing doesn't do anything. I literally looked it up. So I actually think it doesn't even work how YouTube says it works. Which is even crazier. Technically, you're tied for first. But the leaderboard doesn't show it correctly. Technically, you and Alexis and Gary all have first, but it's not showing it correctly. I don't really understand that. And then you two are tied for second. And then the rest of you... Oh, no. He has third. He has 100. The rest of you have 75. This is kind of cool. I could look in here and be like, all right, who's been in my chat? Some people don't even have it on, though. That's another thing. Some people are in here and don't even have it on, but I don't know how you turn that on. You would think it's just automatically on. Politic talk makes it go down. And it's funny because my politic talk is like just asking people to be nice to each other. Like that's as far as my political talk goes. I just want everyone to be cool. You can hate each other all you want, but at least be able to speak to each other. They weren't showing certain chats in the live chat that included politics. Yeah, I honestly don't even blame YouTube for doing that. Because what if there's like I mean, not that there should be a kid in here, but what if there's like a younger person in here? They don't need to be reading that shit. I mean... Are you retracting your own messages? Or is there a mod in here abusing you? I mean, top chat, they did show it in live chat. That is true. That is true. I always turn it on live chat. I'm OCD, and I switch it to live chat before I start my stream. Because top chat, it doesn't show them in the right order. And I wonder, that's how I like to read it. I like to read it in order, because if there's timestamps, you can turn on. I turned on timestamps, and I like to read y'all's messages in order. So if I miss somebody, I'll be like, oh, fuck, I need to go back and read that. But that top chat, I would miss so many messages. You hit enter too fast. I was like, man, do I got a mod abusing you? Sinful's just back there deleting every comment you post. I think only Sinful, Sherman, and like one other person have like complete access to that. And I don't even really remember. We can never give Tobias the mod roles. I could probably give it to Linwood. There would never be an issue. Dr. J would probably be a good mod for YouTube chat. But I don't even know what powers y'all get from that. Add as moderator. Oh, here we go. Can manage blocked words and change chat modes in live, and also has capability of standard moderators. Huh. Alright, well, I gave you pretty strong powers, Dr. J. You're not like equivalent to Superman or anything, but you're up there. Not that we get a lot of moderating needs in YouTube chat anyway, but now somebody trustworthy has powers. Look, he's blue now. I will never use them. I'm too scared of power. See, that's the kind of mods we need. I only need mods that have the ability to crash out when needed. We don't need to be crashing out 24/7. I do need to give one more person mod in Discord chat soon. And then teach them how to ban and delete words correctly. Because you don't just ban someone, you gotta hit ban and then you click delete messages from last 7 days, so it deletes all the spam messages they put in chat. Like the, stupid copy pasta shit they do. That's the main thing. But I'm pretty good about it. Normally you guys tag me and I'll just do it. Or username gets it. Or DTouch gets it. My guys are pretty good about it. Do y'all think this is where we slow down, considering this is where we finally hit all 3 of those fib extensions, or what? I think that would be a good, rule of thumb. Or, what chart am I on? Oh, I'm on the wrong one. Lag to death is the chart. Since we did this and hit all 3 fib extensions, I think that'd be a good sign that might be where we slow down for the day, but it's not like the uptrend is broken or anything this day. I'm just saying. It could be a good spot for the day to chill out at. But we do still have room to 648, so I don't want to take that away from the chart and say they can't do that. They definitely could. But I feel like higher probability or the safer side of the chart, the more reasonable part of the chart tells us that now that we've hit all 3 fib extensions, this is probably chill out time. And going into tomorrow or into next week too, tomorrow and next week, we could probably delete these 2 and then just focus on the halfway point of that day. The gaps, halfway points like we have set here and here and here and here and all that stuff. And we'll just leave all that. But we'll delete these 2, have this day's midpoint. And maybe that's it. Could probably add something from one of these days, like the gap down. But that's later on thinking. I'm just trying to think ahead. Therefore, when it arrives, we're ready for it or understand why we're doing it. We're not like, okay, what do we do now? It's kind of like trade. I didn't even see this one. It's kind of like trading. You think you have a strategy, and then Tobias comes and does it better. About 645.80 was resistance. I think market is testing to see if it is now support. No, I think you're right. I think you're right. I would love to, keep adding emphasis on this though, guys. And I'm not trying to sit here and be like, oh my god, I was right about this and this. No, I don't care about being right. But I am very happy that this held. I am happy that this held. And for a third day in a row, we get the hold of another important area. I mean, these are the three areas I was pretty much saying we need to be paying attention to for direction, and every time it has paid us back. I would say every single one of these days has been relatively easy. I'm not going to sit here and be like the trading was easy, but it almost was. It almost was a little bit too easy. But it's because we were prepped. We prepared. We took a lot of time and effort into this chart or put a lot of time and effort into this chart to actually, have this set. If it does this, we do that. If it does that, we do this. That kind of thinking. So this isn't here to like glaze, oh my god, we're right. It's more or less just like, dude, the impact of these levels has been so nice. And I hope we can continue to get this. Whether it's a gap halfway point, a halfway point from a really big day that was impactful, whether it's a previous day high, a previous day close, I don't even care. It's been a very nice time having these pivotal levels help us with direction. And each day it's kind of made more and more sense the more it happens too. And it allows us to allude to it too. Like when this happened, I instantly was like, yo, that could happen again. If we don't, have this scenario where we're retesting, which is obvious. But it's just nice to cover those things ahead of time, and then when it happens, it's like nice. It's like a pat on the back, a little bit of validation. Feels good. Allows you to trust the info in front of you more, so you can actually take action on it or apply risk. Dude, what is with this Funko music, dude? Everywhere I go, it's on all these edits and videos, and honestly, I don't even hate it. This might be like one trend that swooped the algorithms of YouTube that I'm like totally cool with. It's just dope sounding music. Some of the edits are a little funky, but dude, I don't know about y'all, but I've been getting tons of that crap on my feeds. Do y'all get that too? Like, it's like funk music or Brazilian funk or whatever the hell. That shit is blowing up. And has been for some time. Everywhere I click, it's got one of them. Or is it just my algo? Because I clicked on too many. I shit you not, like everything I click on has it. It's like a mix on dubstep. It sounds sick. Excuse me. Try not to yawn into the mic like that. Discretionary is still in the lead after all that movement. Your Amazon, Tesla, McDonald's, Nike, Home Depot sector. Mm, 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 mm. Is there anybody here that knows their sectors pretty well? You guys know like your at least the more important ones. Not, and you don't need to necessarily know every little detail about them, but you know some of the top weights within them at the very least. And you don't have to even answer me; just answer to yourself. But I would definitely make sure you understand the top sectors: your XLK, your XLY, your XLC. V is very important for healthcare. It's incredible how many people don't pay attention to it. Staples, XLP. Just nice to have an outlier, kind of like healthcare, I guess. A little bit of an outlier. Still debating on jumping on triple Qs. Go mark the gap from the other day, not today's gap, Alexis, and tell me did they hit fib extensions? Or wait, I'll just do it. If they hit all the fib extensions, I would more or less chill. Okay, they didn't. They have a little bit of room. They're not like SPY where they did hit all three. You gotta watch this, the top companies listed for all. Okay, nice. You have it nice and a little organized for you. No, that's good. That's probably the best way to help with memorizing them too, to have quicker info. But it's hard to remember them all or remember the top ones. I think the best trick is just trying to remember like 3 to 4 companies from each of those sectors and make sure they're like top weights, because that is pretty important. But I'm glad to see that because that is very, very important in my opinion. I think it also helps because if you go look and like every sector's red except like discretionary, let's say, and then you see tech start to flip green, and then you see XLC start to flip green. It's like, okay, I think triple Q is about to go up. And then if you see a majority of them pick up, it's like, okay, I think triple Q and SPY are about to pick up. So it's just nice having that context outside of like SPY. Also, I think it's just paramount to understand what's actually moving SPY. I think people look at this and they think it's just like buy sell, like that's it, that's the only thing moving it, which I mean in the grand scheme of things, yes, that is correct. But it really is like a big pie, and each of those sectors are like a slice of the pie, and each of those slices are not cut evenly, right? Somebody went in there and cut those pieces very fucked up so they could have the biggest piece and all of us have tinier pieces or something. But like tech, so fucking important, and then you cut another big piece, discretionary, comms, healthcare, banks. And then you're even smaller pieces, staples, energy, you know, all these other sectors, base materials, real estate. Like, it's nice to know how SPY actually breaks up. So you probably have a better feel for it than other people who have no idea what I just said. So most people in here have a really good grip on that. Or at least I hope they do. I think it's just nice to know that information just so you understand what is actually moving SPY. You're not just sitting here going, SPY green candle. Okay, but why is it doing that? What sectors are pushing? Every sector's pushing. Okay, well, that's still more reasons than none. Still nice to have that context, even if it's super obvious context. Oh, yeah, and like Alexis said, he said, you're right, fam. Phases of the day as well. Don't want to push it today after earlier gains, not feeling the volume on triple Q. That's another good point. We are after the first part of the day. The first part of the day is over. We are kind of in between sessions right now. We're between first part of the day and second part of the day. We're in that weird little gray zone I don't like, between 10:30 and 11 Central Standard or 11:30 to 12 Eastern Standard. It's an ucky zone. Icky. I don't like it. But once the lunchtime session starts, I would like to assume, because we got movement, that's kind of like our checklist. You know, did we get movement in the first part of the day? We did. Okay, well then the second doesn't really need to do anything. Could look for some consolidation, and then maybe it leads into a good last 2 hour of the day type session, where our last part of the day actually gives us a really good single directional trade. But who knows? Maybe lunchtime does that as well. And then the end of the day is where it gets a little more consolidating. You know, the meh. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it too. But yeah, no, very, very good job, Alexis, bringing that back up, because I think that's a good way to like stop yourself, but logically. You don't want to ever be like, do I take this or not? And then just be like, no, I'm not going to. You need to have a reason to stop yourself, because you should enter that. But you found a good reason to not, and that's what should be stopping you, are good reasons. Not, oh, I just didn't feel it. No, like we're going into a different part of the day. SPY has done its job hitting all the fib extensions. Triple Q didn't. So there is a little bit of difference there, meaning we probably had a lot more help from other sectors as well that weren't just tech related, which is what Triple Q is. So that's still really good context, even though it's not like the craziest of information. Oh, that's my neck. Yo, Nard C, is your name Maddie on Instagram, by the way? I have someone on Instagram messaging me a bunch, and I don't even check Instagram, but I checked it randomly yesterday for the Bueller page, and I saw a bunch of messages from someone. I did not know who it was, but they seemed to know me, so I was like, all right. But I was confused on who the hell it was. No, you don't have an Insta. Okay, I like you even more. All right, well, that's all I know. Peep the reverse fib from the morning drop. This one here. I'm assuming. Now you got a fourth Maddie? No, I have no clue who that other one is. I might even not have the name remembered right. But they had C in one of their initials, so that's why I thought it was like... I thought it was Maddie, Ice, and then I thought it was... when I saw your name in here, I was like, wait, it could be Nard. But then I was like, nah, Nard would have said something. And I went in our history, I'd never replied to this guy, I'd never said anything to him, so I was just really confused. But he seemed to know me. So now I'm even more confused. Someone's fucking with me. Honestly, staring at this reverse fib, the 645.30 is pretty crazy. Even though that's just the top of that high. Am I looking at the 50%? Is that what's so crazy? Because it lines up with CDO? That's honestly pretty impressive too. I've never really done that too many times on an intraday time frame. That really wasn't a bad idea. That was like a perfect like pullback to draw that on. We'll have to test that out more. I honestly haven't really done that a whole lot. But I don't see why it wouldn't work. Works on the other time frames. That is pretty sexy. 644.41. Well, at least it kind of helps us feel better about the levels we're using, because in those moments when I'm calling that out, I never 100% know. I'm never gonna 100% know. I don't want you guys to think that either. But a lot of these levels are very accurate. You just got to use them correctly. Like when we fell down here and we held this and you see this candle, the very next thing you should be thinking is, all right, if we hold above today's open, there's a good chance I should go up. If we don't, there's a good chance I'm rejecting this and we're probably re-breaking this or testing it again, right? So it breaking above that is pretty cool. And then going back and seeing what he just shared with us, which again, we use this on bigger time frames to get a lot more macro information ahead of time, so I can get levels ahead of price without making shit up. So I get consistent info every time. It's crazy that it lines up with that, because again, this was like kind of our make or break level that we were talking about while we were discussing all this. So that's very cool. Kind of like revalidates us a little bit. Yeah, and then exactly the extensions, like how they lined up with 646 right there, and then the third one was pretty much at the top of that area there. Also a little crazy. Because I think if someone was to ask me, like, yo, is there a level in between that? Like, you probably would either have to draw that fib or a halfway point that just exists between those two levels. But at that point, you're just adding too many levels. But yeah, no, that's crazy how much lines up with that. It was what do we call that? I guess like a nice calculated pullback, because that's kind of what it felt like, and that is what it looks like whenever you add that backwards fib to see, okay, it is the open as that 50%. Because again, that 50% of that backwards fib is kind of what decides short-term direction after the recovery, or after the slowdown, I should say. Future targets, great spot to secure gains on a same day con. Then you could reevaluate. Exactly. No, I like that. And good review, dude. Seriously, I didn't even look at it that way. I mean, I guess I did, but I didn't draw that fib. Also cool to kind of validate that open lining up again. Got a phone call, 20 plus minutes. Hope I didn't miss too much. I did say one thing to you earlier, but I can't remember what it was. But it was just like joking around bullshit stuff. No, that was awesome, Carter. Thank you, dude. I always love when you guys bring in like a second point. It's like, yo, this lines up with that. Or maybe you weren't in the stream and you were like looking at something and you're like, yo, you did that too. Like, it's always cool, like when you're on the same page too, with someone in chat at least, because more times than not, you are probably looking at similar things. So it is nice when you see them the same way. At least it's how I feel. I always feel a little bit better when I'm like, guys, we're above today's open, and then I see people in chat posting like going up. It's like, okay, good. Whew. They're paying attention. Whew. I think it can get really easy to lose yourself in the day-to-day context, though. And that's why it's very important that you constantly are reminding yourself of what is what, right? Like after today, this will be gone, this will be gone. So it'll be a lot more clear to me. But just leaving them for now because they were targets. Goldie Roja. Nika. Dude, it might actually go towards 648 today. That's crazy. We said it too way early in the stream, but like if they didn't do this like liquidity grab move, I don't think they have the energy to make it to where they are now. I think if it would have just opened and kept going, I don't think it would have been able to do that. That consolidation or that fake out before is needed to create the energy to even go that far. I don't know, pretty cool. Where's my earphone? There it is. One second. All right, I'm here. Thanks for over 20 likes again, guys. We've been hitting that number easy. And we had over 100 clicks today. That's honestly not bad. I don't even know how many people go back and even watch these either, or even review some of them. I'm sure it's pretty hard to, though. Unless you know exactly what time of the day you're looking for, then you could easily find that. Which I just noticed I don't even have my thumbnail on today, so you don't know what time it is on my screen unless you're looking in the bottom right. Which, does the thumbnail even show that anymore? Let's see. Nope. I haven't been showing all the time on that. That's crazy. I have to find that again. Well, I guess you know, I'm not on a fake account. At least it's something good, at least, huh? Exposed myself there a little bit. I hope I didn't show the account info. Oh, I didn't. It's on total all accounts. Okay, we're good. That's a good option, by the way. Excuse me. Holy. Excuse me. But that's a good option, by the way, if you ever have multiple accounts or something. And maybe you're like sharing your screen to your friend, or you're seeing a screenshot. You can actually click this button and make it show all accounts, and you can like not show your crucial info, because that'd be bad. Just tip for anybody who does end up sharing their screen in the future. It is nice. They didn't always have that. Honestly, Schwab fixed it. For the longest time, TD Ameritrades was bugged, and you had to click it every time. But on Schwab, you can actually select it as a default. So it's like there. You don't have to worry about exposing your account information in case you happen to be sharing it or whatever with somebody. Which I wouldn't just go around sharing your fucking trading screen all the time. Damn, that sneeze got me good. I feel like my breathing opened up. All right, I'm gonna check some of these. If you guys have anything to ask or question or comment, let me know. But I'm gonna go through some of these daily time frames, and then I think I'll end the stream after that. But I want to check on my list at least. Damn, Datadog would have paid. All right, well, DDog worked. Cost worked. Starbucks worked short term, not so much later on. That contract is at... It's actually down. If anyone's still in. UPST. UPST didn't even move. But we're watching that for a bounce, not for shorting it yet. But that yesterday's candle kind of fucked it up. EXPE. Really, we're just looking for anything on this because we don't know what's coming next. It was looking like a good short setup, then it flicked back up into a good doji. We saw the smaller time frame earlier. It reversed really, really well. And MSTR, we were looking for downside. So most of the list did pretty fire. Just using the swing strategy that I've honestly taught a lot of people. I remember there's one person that I honestly wish I never would have taught it to because he abuses it and sells it for signals. But yeah, this strategy is like so easy. And the only thing that really fucks with people and why some people don't stick with it is because of the maintenance of having to go through a list every day or every other day. And some people aren't patient enough. They think they can just swing trade every day. It's like, dude, what? What are you doing? Should be doing that like every now and then. That's not an everyday thing. So you can pick and choose your best setups. And develop a muscle memory for what good setups even look like. Right? You're not going to know that just looking at it your first time. It's a little crazy. But yeah, so most of the setups did really, really good, honestly. Is it in the YouTube members channel? What? What is? Sorry, I'm looking at 3 things. The list that I posted? Of like the tickers that we went through? Or the swing strategy or what? Lily! Oh my god. Lily! Lily! Come here. Come here. Quit crying. Yes, 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 I know. This dog is so cute. The learning how to swing stuff, swing strat. No, this is openly all over my channel. I'll show you. I've been doing like updates and like going through it with people live now, just because it's just another part of the day. It's kind of fun looking for swings too. Plus, on like days where like maybe you traded then you're done. Why is this so loud? On days where it's like maybe you've already finished trading or whatever, or maybe the day's not doing what you thought it was going to do, so you just chilled. It's kind of nice to go back and just look at some of this stuff. Swing trading videos. Here we go. It's pretty far down here because it's literally just that old. This is one of the like older strategies I have on my channel. And I'm not naming names because I'm genuinely not trying to draw attention or hate to this person, but I have taught this individually to a lot of people in the premium chat way back in the day, and somebody took advantage of it and has been selling it on like a bot. They go on a bot and they post a bunch of swing trades based on this exact strat. And I'm not going to lie, their win rate's pretty crazy. But they're also a piece of shit who sells their soul to other people, and yeah, so fuck that person. But Pretty cool swing strat. It's pretty high. And I always leave Stephen Bigelow's video in the bottom of my playlist because if there's any strategy I found on the internet that's even remotely close to what I do, it would be this guy. And he's not alive anymore, rest in peace. But this guy's videos are pretty awesome too. So if you ever finish, I always tell people this at the end, but if you ever finish like my playlist or you go through all these and you start to understand it, you might enjoy this guy's content too. He has a lot more videos than I do, and he just posts stuff on that, and it's really really cool because he gives you the vague idea of some of the stuff. But I really like his content. If I had any outside motivation to any part of any strategy I've ever posted on my channel, it would be this guy. I've never taken motivation from anyone ever, right? I've never gone to someone's channel and been like, oh, how can I copy this and make it my own? Like, no, when I saw this guy's channel after posting a lot of my stuff, I freaked the fuck out. You can see too, some of my videos in here are 4 years old. I didn't even know about this guy yet. But I get to him and my mind expanded because I was like, holy shit, like I get to watch somebody who's an actual pro basically cover the strat that I also enjoy. Now his is a little different, but it's the exact same triggers, it's the exact same thing, almost the exact same EMAs. So it's just really cool. So I always like to give him props. He never knew I existed, but this dude has all my respect. But yeah, so definitely check these out. This one's, why is it not showing at all? Oh, this one's not bad. It's just a really old video. But this was like a month of swing trades that I did with the chat a very long time ago. I mean, this is when Beyond was relevant. And it just goes through a lot of different trades that I took with the chat. Like in this one, we like that there was I used to take a lot of downtrend breaks. So if there was ever like a lot of lower highs, I would wait for it to break it, and then I would mark these highs, and I would wait for it to go to those highs. So I'd wait for like bullish candles, and so I'd wait, and I'd get a hammer. So the trigger is something, then a bullish candlestick, then you get in, and you set risk for yourself. Don't just blindly hold it. And you can see that one didn't even have EMAs. Actually, a lot of these probably won't. This might have been before I got my EMAs. This might just straight up be candlesticks. Yeah, it is. Okay, so that's actually, this is a little bit more impressive than I was thinking. Trying to remember. No. Oh, here it is. It literally says it in the fucking title. I'm blind. How we use the 9 EMA. But you can go through this stuff too, and there's a bunch of other videos on this, and it'll show you, and you'll see the trigger and all that stuff. Oh, it broke above this. Oh, it has this curling action. I just need to get above that 9. Oh, it got above the 9 the next day, and we have some volume. Nice, I'm getting in. Which I don't even have. You don't even have to use volume anymore for this, but it is definitely helpful to get that extra confirmation. But yeah, this strategy is pretty old. It's just, I don't know. Maybe I didn't do a good enough job promoting it, but I did not shut up about this shit for like a long time. Oh, here's the one I remember. Yeah, this one has a couple examples in it. Net. Holy shit, I actually did like timelines. Take-Two Interactive. Jesus, dude. I'm probably the first person in history to trade that. Like with options. That's crazy. Net, before they were trash. Just really nice examples. Like, you're really just looking for like good price action. This one's a little bit quick, but it had that curl to it. Rising confirmation. And you had a candle close over. And you had bullish candlesticks. So it's like you had like 4 things telling you, dude, get the fuck in. And then what people don't understand, and I'll show you on my chart. What people don't understand about this, though. So let's say this day wasn't red. Let's say it was green. Actually, hold up. I could just go to Starbucks. This is a good example. So, you know how sometimes we watch the previous day control point on like smaller time frames? Well, you could do the same thing for this, but for your swing strat. So let's say like I entered this day and the next day didn't just fall, right? Let's say I got puts and it didn't just fall and make me money instantly. What do? Well, what do I do without fucking myself? I could stay in this trade as long as I'm under this 50%. If I don't like how it's holding, you can get out. If you don't like the percentage, maybe your contract shit, you know, that's a different reason. But price action wise, this would keep you in. And let's say the next day is pushing over this. Yeah, you're invalidating yourself instantly outside of the EMA. Because if you wait on the EMA, you're going to be too late and you're going to lose way too much. So outside of just, oh, it didn't keep going down, I got to cut. Like, no, you could keep holding it for a reason. So that's also another thing. And these are what I call reset candles, or, you know, just resting candles. Which you haven't really got one of those in a while on SPY. This was the last one. If you go from this day's low to high, this day didn't just keep going up. So what happened? It rested. Then this day gave us that liquidity grab, and then we moved up from there. So it did have to hold the 50% first. So if you ever don't go past your previous day high, you're still bullish as long as you're above the 50%. You just... It's very tedious. I don't want to sit here and be like, it's true, that's that easy, that's it. No, it's just... That is a really big deciding factor. Yeah, rest in peace, Bigelow. Gotta get to work for 4, so a nap right now is perfect. I hope you get a nap, dude. Honestly, that post-nap is always the best feeling. Man, that knowledge you drop is just different from everything else I ever saw. Thanks, man. No problem, man. And thank you for listening and asking questions. I'm not gonna lie, I always like leave the end of the stream open for people to ask questions or say anything, and a lot of the time no one says shit, and I just end the stream. So it is kind of nice when someone actually has something productive to ask or talk about. And I won't lie, this swing strat is a little slept on, so I still like to abuse it. Like, there are people who use EMA strats, but not quite like we do. Holy poop. My dog wants attention so bad right now. Come here. I'll give you attention. Come here. You can sit in my lap while I stream. She's 22 pounds now. And she's cute as ever. That's my mic. Don't lick that. No, sorry. I backed up. It's because my dog. I had to pick her up. She's so cute. It might have been quiet for a second because I was genuinely walking away while I was trying to talk. But I'll see you guys later. I gotta get that nap in. Yeah, good luck, man. And good luck at work today. I hope you get some good rest. Do we have any other questions or comments before I end it? That was honestly a fun thing to talk about right there at the end. And honestly, I do recommend... I mean, I'm going to cut it out, the stream, and post it as a video anyway. But I would genuinely go back to the beginning of the stream. Right at the beginning, I started ranting about some, honestly, super important stuff. So I would go check that out if you're interested. It's just price action stuff, nothing crazy. But it can lead to having better directional bias. So I think a lot of you guys should check it out. Do we have any other questions or comments, though, before I end it? If not, I'll just go ahead and cut it there. But I do appreciate all the likes, all the comments, all the engagement, conversation. Honestly, all the Discord gains were kind of crazy today. Couple of huge ones that, you know, we don't see all the time like that. I mean, 500% is a little wild by Sandollar. And then you see another guy come in here, Letter Buck, and he's just like trying to recreate that again. Like, what the hell? And Alexis, too. Alexis, you've been on fire, too, dude. Optioneer. You've been killing it. So just good to see everybody's been doing their thing and kind of benefiting from it. I love it. But yeah, if we have nothing else, I'll go ahead and end it there. See you guys later. If you have anything else you maybe remember to ask or think about or want to talk about later, just go ahead and tag me on Discord. Great teamwork. Love the fam. Yeah, same here, dude. You guys are honestly amazing. I love that I could go in there and like read basically anybody's message. I mean, I'm going to say basically because most people, and it's a pretty solid update. You know, someone's like, yo, outside bar on this time frame, or yo, Triple Q's doing this, IWM's doing this. Like, if I'm focused on this, I could totally leave that in their hands, and I could rely on that I don't want to say call out, but that update, you know? I don't like use the word call out because it feels like we're depending on something, but in reality, you really just are using it as like teamwork, cohesion. It's nice to have that. If I'm looking at Spy and I have someone in chat telling me text fucking booming and all that stuff, like that's good for me. That's good. Tech is a pretty large part of Spy, so. But yeah, so I'm going to end it there. I'll see you guys later. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.